Morning, folks. I hope we're live. Oh, shut my mail down. Okay, my computer is really struggling this morning. Yay, we're live? Okay. I feel like it's going to be one of those days. Good morning, folks. Hello. Oh, Brian's here. Hello, Brian. Such a shock. Must have got the kids down to bed early. It's a rabbit. I'm a rabbit. Hang on, wait. I'm a rabbit. My computer is making a lot of noise. The fans are really whirring, so if you can hear that in the background, I'm really sorry. Too early, come back in an hour. Dave Darko, too early. I can sleep in more. That's fine. I'm used to getting up this time in the morning now on a Wednesday, so I thought I'd just continue doing it at this time. But if everyone wants me to push it later, I can push it later. That's okay. I could do with some more sleep right now. I think I got 4 hours sleep last night. So yeah, I could definitely do some more sleep. I'm just closing apps down on my computer to see if I can get it to stop making so much noise. So, hello. There are too many people in chat already to go back to everyone and say hi, so I'm just going to do a big hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. Did you all catch MakerCast on Monday? It's kind of weird. Whenever I host MakerCast, I always have to stream like 2 times in a week, and it's a Monday and a Wednesday for me. So there's no recovery time of the early morning, unfortunately. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So if you haven't already checked it out, go check it out. It was great. We had some really cool guests. We had some new folks on the MakerCast, which is always nice when we have new faces and new people for everyone to meet. I didn't change my chat. Cool. So what a week it's been. I just got a notification that my live stream starts in 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's already started. Thank you for letting me know about that, YouTube. Yeah, I'm down the rabbit hole, folks. I have you invited the Manx Beard Club. I don't even know who the Manx Beard Club is. I don't know. So just let everyone know, the people that join us on our streams, so we've got kind of like there's a group of makers who we all get together, we all chat, right? There's a community of us. And so the participants of the MakerCast come from that group. So I know there are a lot of people on Twitter that shout out and saying, hey, I'd be up for it, or people saying, hey, why don't you invite, blah, blah, blah. And, obviously we want to get some more guests in, and we're growing our community. But the community of people, and there's quite a few of us, and obviously not everyone wants to be on a MakerCast, and some people want to be on every MakerCast. But yeah, the community is really growing, but we're not, like, we're growing it at a pace that it doesn't just become so overwhelming that none of us participate anymore, if that makes sense, right? Right, so yeah, so like getting a big Clive on would be like a guest type thing, because Big Clive doesn't really hang out in our community. I'd love to have Julian on if he's up for it. He seems to always avoid the topic. I don't know if he wants to join us on a live stream. There's lots of people that we could have on the live stream, and there's also lots of other makers that you all know about that are part of our community of makers, but that haven't ever wanted to put their hand up to be on a MakerCast. So look, we're getting there slowly. Obviously, we're doing it just once a month. I think any more than once a month is too much. And we've now pushed it to 6 people. My webcam's broken. Julian, I'll send you a new webcam. If that's all it's going to take, I will gladly send you a webcam to get you on a MakerCast. Hey, Michael. Oh, Adam's awake again early. Yeah, come on, let's say... Hey, just be careful, because Julian's going to end up with like 50 webcams sent to him. But yeah, no excuses, Julian, if that's all it is. We can easily get you a webcam or 3 or 10. So anyway, that's kind of how the web, how the MakerCast works. Hey, there's Aaron in chat too. Look, I feel like I need to go back and say hi to everyone. I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to, because that's just... Yeah, I feel bad. So, hello, Andy Calloway, Adam Bryant, Saydev, Vesam, 11:30 more waiting. What? 11:30 where you are? That's crazy. Lots of pops and bangs. Oh, is it fireworks? What's the fireworks for? Hey, Azzy, good morning. Hello, the embedded hobbyist. Took the wife to a public firework display. What's the fireworks for? Let's see how many times I get interrupted during the stream. Thanks, Jerry. About how many times I get interrupted during the stream. Hey, Marin. I'm already distracted. Hello, James Robinson. Hello, Graham Nopes. And Bolly. OBS heated high. OBS is always running high. Hello, Simon. And Crazy Roops. And Brian, I said hi to. I'm going to say hello again. Hello, Marco. Hello, Shaq. And Julian. We've already been chatting. And I spelt Julian's name wrong. I've got a bung finger. I'm going to show everyone. I've got a, I don't know if you're going to be able... I've left the autofocus on. I'll let you see if you can see it. I know it doesn't look like much. It's an infected finger. It's pretty angry. It's getting better, kind of. I need to go get antibiotics. So it's been like that for a week and a half now. Focus. And it's my most important finger. It's I'm right-handed, and it's the most important finger on my right hand. Like, it's my nose-picking finger. Like, it's the most important finger. Anyway. So it's quite painful. I can't type with it. Hello, Crack Pack. Okay, that's a cool name. Hello, Mr. Dave Darko. Hello, James. Did you get back from work early again? James, I hope so. You didn't work late again. Hey, Marius. Hello, Alex. Hey, Marco. Gotta keep going. Hello, Michael Hyde. Hello, Gary T. Good afternoon from Canada. Good early morning from Australia. Hey, Johnny. Wow. Scrolly. And Adam, I said hi to. And Michael. And Ian, hello. And Tabletronics. There's Guy Fawkes. Is that when November? Guy Fawkes? Gunpowder Treason? I think it's Guy Fawkes Day. Maybe? I don't know. What would I know? I just live in a rabbit hole. Hey, Maxine R&D. I'm eating some pastry here. Thanks for the finger. Sorry. Oh, Jerry got a Don't Panic badge from Mr. Dave Watts. Hey, Rob. Hey, Jim F. from Kilgary. Hey, Mike. Hey, Andy Roberts. Okay, I'm caught up. Excellent. So my week's been crazy. So what day is this day? It's a public holiday yesterday on Tuesday for us, and so on Monday the kids had a curriculum day, so there was no school. So basically it was a 4-day weekend for the kids, and on Monday we went out as a family just to do some shopping, which was not enjoyable at all. For a couple of hours I got out of the house, but other than that, since Friday, right, I have been sitting at my computer day and half the night. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, most of Monday except for a couple of hours, and Tuesday coding. I've not walked into my office. I've been sitting in the house, and I've pretty much ignored my office, which is like, except for I've had packages turning up. Oh, this autofocus is doing my head in. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm going to leave it for now. If I try to fix the autofocus, OBS will die on me, so I'm just going to leave it. I've had packages arriving like every day, and so my floor, I'm not going to show you, is covered with packages. And yeah, I've been avoiding coming in here. I've just been coding, and so there's two things about this rabbit hole I was going to tell you all. The first one is like I'm down a rabbit hole in terms of this site that I'm building. Like it's not that it's getting way out of scope. The scope isn't. No, I'm not going to show you the floor. No, I'm not going to show you the floor. Sorry, not going to happen. It's not that the scope of the website is getting right, coding or procrastinating. So it's both. Okay, I'm going to start the sentence one more time. No one interrupt me. It's not that the scope of the website is getting bigger. It's not. It's exactly the same as what I'd planned, but the scope of how I'm implementing it, what my ambitions are for how it's going to work from a user point of view, has just gone out of control. It's really gone out of control. Like, it doesn't have to be like this, but then it's just the same as everything else that's out there, and it's exactly the same with all the stuff I don't like. So I'm trying to do something very different, vastly different, and I'll show you. But the other reason I'm kind of doing this, and I'm throwing myself into this, is because I can't face a whole bunch of projects I've got here at the moment. I can't face the amount of work I've got, because it is just insane, the amount of projects I'm currently working on, projects or shipping or whatever. Hey Greg, what website? What? No, it's not scope creep at all, Ian. You'll see what I mean in a moment. But also, I've had a couple of setbacks with a couple of projects I've been working on. And they're setbacks that I can't really solve, but it's really super frustrating because I had my heart set on what I was working on. I had my heart set on at least making prototypes, and I might still, like, the prototypes will work, but anyway, it's not something I'm ready to talk about and show, and I will at some point. I can't right now, just in case I can solve it. So I'm kind of letting it sit, right? You know what I mean? I'm kind of taking a break from it, but the break's getting extended because I'm working on the software. So I'm still moving forward, but I'm moving forward in a different direction while everything in my head goes. So which website are we talking about? So I started working on a parts management website. When I say a website, it's web-based. It runs in a web browser. It's not a website per se. So I'm building it more like an app than a website. And so I mentioned like I mentioned before in my streams, but also on MakerCast, that my component system is out of control in my office. The storage of all my components, the tracking of all my components, the amount of components I've got now, in all various forms of packaging and storage location. It's not a service. It's not an API. It's what I mean by it's not a website, as in I'm not going to be hosting this thing for other people to use. It's not going to be a software as a service solution. I'll get to it anyway. So I started looking for a solution for me to track all of my components, and I started playing with PartsBox and started putting my components in PartsBox, and I really I stopped after about a day. Like I just couldn't do it. Like it would take me. I know it doesn't sound like long, but it'd take me like 5 to 10 minutes to get per component to put inside PartBox, to put a component in there, and then to add stock. And it just got it's too much stuff in there. So PartsBox and apps like that, or websites like that, are designed. They're not designed for small tier people. They're designed for larger companies and corporations, larger production facilities that need multiple. Like, a company sets up on there and they've got multiple people maintaining product and stuff, and they need to track all sorts of stuff from things like not just how much stock they have and how much stock they're using and when they need to reorder, but batches of where the stock was used from, and not just BOM management, but costing and sourcing and all sorts of stuff. Like, there's a massive amount of stuff in there that I don't need. So I was chatting with Adam Kia, who is in the chat, about it the other day, and he actually came out with he explained it quite well. Like, they are a very large product designed for a much bigger solution that is reaching down with features that smaller people can use, but you've got to use it inside the framework of their large thinking, right? And it's a website that's delivered like a website, like what you expect a data entry website to be. And then you got there's packages like PartKeeper, which is very widely used, and although it's not being actively developed by the person who created it anymore for health reasons, which is cool. There are some people jumping on. I think I'm not sure if Bit Bastille is in the chat at the moment, but he's currently working on a respin of it to move it to some modern frameworks, because it's pretty antiquated what it runs off. It still works though, and there are people still using it. But again, like, you know, if you... I'm not going to pull it up right now, maybe later, but if you go and look at PartKeeper as a product, and you look at all, like, you look at the website, look at their screenshots, like, it's the type of thing you look at, or I look at and go, wow, I'm not going to use that. Like, it may be able to do what I need, but it's not that it's intimidating. It's just pages and pages of buttons and data. Like, and it's for me, like, you know, it's partly, I guess, my ADHD. It's also partly my procrastination and just the overwhelming stuff I've got here. If I have to, like, if I'm not going to enjoy, I know it sounds stupid, if I'm not going to enjoy using the app to put my stuff in, I'm going to stop using it. Like, if I invest like a week solid to get all of my parts in there, and I end up not using it because it's just too cumbersome, then it's just a waste of time, right? So I know that, I don't think Scott's here at the moment, he'll probably pop in later, the DevPom, he started working on a solution, and his is very different to mine. He's looking at a hosted solution for other people. It's got, you know, logins and users and stuff. The ocean is the ultimate solution. The ocean, to throw all my stuff in the ocean. Make sure it's in a relational database design, a multiple project bombs linked to a single part. I know how to build this type of stuff. Greg, thanks. So for those that... Okay, I need to fix this focus. Damn, I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do this. This might... Hopefully this won't kill... might kill my OBS. Just letting you know. If it does, I apologize. I need to turn this autofocus off. The focus is not a problem. My focus is a problem. What's the problem then, Julian? Come on, I know there's a punchline here. We're doing a countdown before it disappears. Okay, autofocus is off. Okay, autofocus is off. And it didn't die. Yay! Benjamin Marty. Who is that? Right, there's lots of solutions. Right, there's Part Manager. Yeah, PartKeeper looks like... And no offense... Oh my god, has that gone out of focus again? If that goes... I'm going to just... Okay, whatever. Yeah, PartKeeper looks like a website where there was not much thought put into UI. So your face is a bit fuzzy, who cares? You know what? It's putting me off. Like, I've got OBS on the side. I need to monitor it now. I can't just let OBS run, because when it dies, I don't know. It's like when the stream dies, I don't know. Like, it looks like my machine's still running the same. And so that's why sometimes I've been talking for ages and you guys have been going, Sion's disappeared, and I haven't realized that OBS was dead. So it's always open now in front of me. So I can see my face going out of focus. It's doing my head in. Yeah, like it looks like that there was no thought to user experience, right? It's not just UI design. It's all about user experience. And so I wanted to build a tool that, I know it sounds stupid, but that I enjoyed using. Like, okay, so let me talk about some of the criteria for the tool. I mean, I can't get away with text. I can't get away with not having text boxes, right? Like, you can't enter data without a text box. So you need some form of keyboard input. But my aim with this is to have as few text boxes as possible. For instance, at the moment, there is currently no text boxes for any of the search tools, right? Or for the filtering. I'm calling it filtering rather than searching. If you want to find a particular product in the product database, you don't type anything in anywhere to find it, which means you can use it with a single finger. And why is that important? Because I want it to run on my phone, and I want it to run on my iPad, and I want it to run on a small screen on a Raspberry Pi, and I want it to run on a computer on a massive screen or a small screen. Surely having a tool you like using is a good thing, not a stupid. No, it's not stupid at all. But it's not many people think about when it's a software, when it's a utility, not many people think about the enjoyment of using it. I'm not talking about the enjoyment of using a laser cutter or a, you know what I mean, or a CNC or whatever, or a soldering iron. Like in terms of, like, when you talk about parts management and a database or a website, you often think of, you know, it's a website, it's a database. Like you expect it to be a certain way. There's lots of questions happening. I will cover all of this stuff. So for me, it's all about, especially coming from the game space, it's all about the experience, right? If I dread something, if I dread a task, I'm going to avoid doing it. I'm going to put it off and avoid doing it. So anything I can do to reduce the cumbersomeness of using this tool is going to help me want to use it more, right? I can't, like, guilt of not using something I invested time making is not a good enough reason for me to use something. Like if guilt was, I would have chosen different career paths in life. I would have, you know, I probably would have ended up being an accountant or something and never have to worry about finances. But, you know, guilt doesn't work for me. You know, it doesn't kick my procrastination in. Voice activated. Now that's interesting. Procrastinate now. No, procrastinate louder. So, will it be open source? My plan is to make it open source under the MIT license. But my plan, assuming that I do what I intend, as in assuming that I can achieve what I want, is to probably just release it inside a Docker container. So it's not going to be like it's not a PHP based, you know, or a Apache web server based or anything, and you'll have to, you know, it's something that you'll have to host yourself, whether you do it online or whether you do it locally. How about the enemy rearranges all of your parts every few hours until you kill them all? That sounds like a really cool game. Don't knock accountants. No. I'm not knocking an accountant. I'm just saying, like, if... So that was a really bad example. Sorry. And what I'm getting at was, like, if guilt... I wouldn't be such a big risk taker if guilt had that much effect on me. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. What's GitHub? Will it be on GitHub? Will the source be on GitHub? It won't be in GitHub in source form, most likely. It'll be in GitHub, like in a Docker container where you can grab it and use it. You can then obviously modify stuff if you want to. It's not the type of thing that I can just stick on GitHub. Like it's got dependencies, right? Like it's running off Flask. Like it's not a lot of dependencies, but there's stuff you need to install to use it. Run a search on Pi 6 when you have time. I'm not sure what Pi 6 is. I'm going to... Look, just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to... And I don't want to... Part Keeper. I'm not trying to bag Part Keeper in any way or any of the other tools, right? I'm just going to switch over to Part Keeper just for the moment. I'm really not. Here we go. Like, there's nothing wrong with it as a tool, but this is not a good user experience for me. I look at this and I go, what the... procrastinating. Do you use and connect to external databases? Right now I don't. I have been playing around with, and I've been talking to LCSC, and I've been playing around with some stuff. Right now, you got to remember, I've only been working on this thing for 4 days, 4.5 days. Okay, so just what I have planned for it. And one other thing I need to stress, just so everyone's clear, right? I'm building this for me. That doesn't mean I'm not going to share it. I'm building it for me and my needs. And so my needs are way lower than what a parts box or even a part keeper delivers. But it's also much higher than the lowest level maker that might want to track their components, right? So where parts box is like for instance, or part keeper is a really thorough, massive tool that smaller people only use a very small subset of, my tool is going to be much more in line with what the maker community can use and needs, right? If you need features that my tool doesn't have and you don't want to add them yourself, then you use a different product, because there's plenty of products out there, right? But my tool is designed for what I need, which is it's a really good, what I think is a really good middle ground. Like, there's no user management in there. You don't log into it. There's no logging in. There's no tracking of multiple people. If you need a tool where you need to track multiple people and who added what product and who removed, like, who used stock of what product, my tool's not for anyone, right? Because no one, how many people need that in the makerspace? Like, even small companies or small production facilities don't necessarily need multi-user support. Will my product source parts externally? I don't know, maybe, most likely not. It's not a tool to source parts with. Like, there's already stuff out there for that. Like, I wouldn't use a tool like this to, like PartKeeper or PartsBox to source my parts. I already know where I get my parts from. I think you need a part storing, handling, voice-activated robot. Ooh, that'd be nice. The screenshot is 4 different tabs and 1 dialog box. I use 4 fields on tab 1 and I upload images on tab 5. That's all. But that's exactly right. I know that they're different views on different windows, but every single one of these is what I consider a normal expectation of a data entry screen front end for a database would look like, right? And it doesn't matter. Like, when I look at lists like this, or when I look at entry screens like this, I think to myself, okay, well, great. That might be what everyone is used to, but that's not what I want to use. I don't want to use that. Making a database in MS Access. Well, then go for it. Hey, David. Go for it, Simon. Then if you want to make one in, you know what I mean? So, like the search, blazingly fast search, which is really great. I mean, look at this interface. I don't know if you can even see this. Hang on. Let me see if I can get the picture bigger. No, it's not really getting bigger. So that's the user interface, right? And I look at that, and this has got really complex search, like fantastic. But you know what? I you know. Anyway, so I wanted to build something that wasn't like this, right? Let me just PartsBox.io. Let's go to PartsBox.io, which I have an account on. I'm just using the free tier right now. So PartBox is a little bit neater in its delivery. So where's there more screenshots? I don't know what happens if I go to the instant demo. Okay. So this is much neater as far as I'm concerned. This is less, like, this has got a much nicer kind of user experience, right? Where you can open up your product. But I still look at this and I go, whoa, like, you know, possible additional substitutes for parts. I don't even know where they come from, whether they come from my own database or whatever. There's some really, like, features like their tags, which I really like, and I've started working on stuff like this, but it's not in my current version right now. You know, I don't need to know my purchase pricing and my total values. Like, I don't need to do cost analysis on my tool like this. Don't confuse filtering with search. They're not the same. I know filtering and search isn't, well, I disagree that filtering and search is not the same from my point of view, from what I'm implementing. They're the same for me. Because I'm not going to have search in mine. So the way I find a part in mine is through filtering, and which I'll show you. So this is, like, kind of better, but I still feel like it's a bit cumbersome. And the other thing is, it doesn't work on a mobile phone, which for me is that's really important. Like, that's not an interface I want to play with on a mobile phone. What are we counting for? Here is Parts Manager being rewritten in Laravel. I don't know what that is. Do you have an idea of what my end result will look like? Yes, I do, because I've got a working version right now. Like, I'm actually got something working on. So what's happening in the chat? Sadev is bored, is he? I'm sorry if you're finding my conversation boring. So, let me show you what I'm working on. Okay, well, I'll catch you later then. Sadev, have fun doing something else, but... So, this is what I'm talking about. This is my stream. Yep. Do you have a UI mockups? I've got more than mockups. I've actually got a working project, and here we go. So this is mine. This is my interface. There's not a lot of data in here, right? So just understand that, and I'll put some data in today. And this is not feature complete. This is just where I'm up to after 4.5 days. Okay? So the first thing is it's fully responsive. So as I shrink the window down, it changes the content that I'm seeing and it rearranges the website. So just so we're clear, but this is, so I guess makers might not find the web design part of this interesting, but this is it's still a maker project, and it's for makers. Like it's for me to help me with my making. You know, I can't really, can't please everyone all the time. Need to just 192. Let's go to my phone. Hold on 1 second. Okay, what I want to show you is that, where's my, go to here. So this is on my phone. Hopefully it's not too bright. If it is, turn it down. Like, so this whole thing's taking me a long time because I don't want to, what's the happy project? I don't want to design it and build it and then have to remake it to work on different platforms, right? But this is on my phone right now, and I can go and change. I can go to my projects, right? And here's my projects. I can go to my parts view and ignore the filtering for the moment, this top. I haven't worked out yet how I'm going to make this work responsively, but this all now works on my phone. And when I change it over, it expands, whoops. Like everything is fully responsive in terms of its layout, which is really important. Because if I want this to run on a Raspberry Pi, if I want to make this portable, for instance, then it needs to be able to work on any size screen. What's the Happy project? What does that mean? Did I have a project called Happy, did I? What? Oh, Happy. Oh, no, I was just testing. I was just testing that input was working last night, and I haven't deleted it. So, I kind of showed some of this on MakerCast. I kind of find the Mauser project management useful, but obviously it doesn't track actual inventory I have on hand. There's lots of tools out there, and I've looked at quite a few of them. But I'm not looking for something else to use. I'm going to keep working on mine. Raspberry Pi screen res is far smaller than an iPhone. Well, it depends on the screen you're running, but my UI goes smaller. It goes all the way down to XS, which is smaller than my phone. So I'm making a components library. No, it's not a library. It's a parts tracking system. So I've got an admin section where I can, for instance, do things like add part category types. It's all paginated, right? There's one of the things I don't like, I mentioned on MakerCast, is I hate websites that if I want to go and edit this value, it takes me to another screen. Like that's very web thinking. So like if I want to, my speaker buzzer, if I want to change the name of that, I click edit and I can just change it inline. Like nothing's changed. I just go, it's now called speaker buzzers, edit, and it's now called speaker buzzers. Page 2, right? If I want to delete it, it happens all inline. Right, single finger, single screen, single touch. Right, cancel. I'm just going to go put that back. Edit. If I want to go to, so I've got different product categories, and these categories are right now based on LCSC's categories. On a phone, you need a separate screen. Not in line isn't on the line. It's okay. Wow. Then I've got part types, and so I can add part types per category. So for instance, I've got different types of diodes, as you can see here, and right now I don't have sorting in there, but you'll be able to click on the category or on the name to sort by category name. Why not editing directly in the table instead of having it on the bottom? Because it's not a table per se, and I could, but for me, I like having the UI in the same spot all the time. So no matter what action I'm doing, all the management is happening in the one spot rather than different locations. To me, that makes more sense from a UI point of view. I could edit it in line, maybe. I'm quite happy with the way this is working. I've currently got package types, so bag, loose, reel, tape, and it's quite easy to add one. Package type would be, what else? What's another package type? Bag, loose, reel, box. Comes in a box. Okay, so now I've added a box type. Got footprint types, which I don't have a whole lot in here right now, but I need to keep adding them in. And you'll also be able to, I've got location types, so box, drawers, PNP, shelf, tub. You can add as many location types as you want. You'll also have a list of suppliers. Pop-up overlays, dialog boxes, but dialog boxes are very, I don't like pop-up dialog boxes. What's how it should work, Michael? Not content with the current solution, make your own. Sounds great to me. The approach worked with the Reflow Master. Yep. Again, I want to make something, like if this only ends up being a tool that I make and no one else likes it, where's the through hole section? There was through hole. So in footprints, through hole is just a footprint type. Right, and then if we go to, right now there's no stock, I'm still working on that, and obviously the home page will just be a stats data thing. Future feature, not to creep now, would be to have handy access to part footprint for easy way to external link. Okay, sorry, that's a chat going past and I missed reading some. But the main thing is the parts, right? So what I'm going to do, let me put some more parts in. Now, part entry is not fully as the way I'd like it to be right now. It's got all validation and everything else. Where's the print label feature? I specify fields to print the label. I don't have any label printing features right now, because right now I don't have any label printing in there. I do plan on adding stock location codes, so you can actually put codes on all of your locations where your parts are. Potentially barcodes or using QR codes. There again, lots of this is 4.5 days worth of work, right? And a lot of it has been 4.5 days worth of working out how I want it to work. Right, doing the database side's easy. Doing editing of the CRUD side of pages to add data and delete data and stuff, that's easy. The for me, it's been all about how do I want it to work. So I'm going to I'm just going to go to I've got some LCSC. These are some of my orders in LCSC. Right now, adding data is copy and paste. I've actually built a scraping system for LCSC, but I can't use it because LCSC don't do smart things with their URLs, and their search button is not a search button. They've basically designed their website so you can't scrape their website, which is really unfortunate. And I've been speaking to them about getting access to an API. They have no API, and they obviously won't give me access to their database directly. But I wanted at least a way where I could have a /find with a part number, but that doesn't work. So for instance, if I want to add a part, let's do this CP 2104, right? So if I just go to this component, unfortunately the web link for this component is not the product code, right? It's this whole silly name. So there's no way of working out what their names are for their product pages. So unfortunately I can't scrape. I've got code that can scrape the page if I know the URL, but I can't work out the URL. So for finding parts here, it sucks, but unfortunately 90% of my parts I buy from them. So it would make a lot of sense that I could, for instance, type a part code number here, hit a button, and have it scrape all the data for me. But I can't do that right now. Are you only going to talk about the inventory software today? No, I've actually got some boards to build and show. But, you know, right now I'm showing this. Look, if anyone here in the chat isn't interested in what I'm talking about, feel free to not watch. That's okay. That's, you know, I won't be offended. That's okay. But, you know, to me, this is still making, and I'm a maker, and I'm currently making a tool to help with my making. No different to me making a test jig, right? Or for me making a storage solution, designing a 3D printed something to put my components in, right? This is no different. But if you're not interested, that's okay. So I'm going to put this in. So the part code is a manufacturing part, and I know what the package is. So I do want to add tags, but yeah, I haven't got those working yet. So I'm just going to put this in the description. There's no value. Silicon Labs is the manufacturer. I'm just going to grab the datasheet link, and I'm going to put that in here as well. And I'm currently using this part on my Tiny Pico Nano and my Tiny Pico. What is it? It's an IC, it's an interface IC, and that is the footprint, right? So I've got the footprint, I've got it all in there, or everything I'm going to put in there. There's no value, and I'm just going to add the part, right? And now the part's in my list. I'm just going to move that off here, put this back in the center. So the way the filtering works, no, OBS is working okay, folks. Got chucked out? Bummer. Nothing my side, okay, good. So the way the filtering works is right now, these are all my categories, and so it's showing, let's move this. It's showing everything. I'll go to the widest view. This is the widest view, so it's got the most detail, including description. I need to fix the description thing. That's okay. It should be putting ellipses on, like these ones here do, to narrow down. So right now it's got everything selected. If I click none up top, I've got no parts selected, right? So if I'm looking for a passive, like let's say I'm looking for an 0603 resistor, right? So I click none, so I've got nothing here. I click passive, and it automatically shows me all my passives. And it then shows me my part types under the passives, and it highlights only the ones that are on there. I've got no inductors, right? So it doesn't matter if that's on. It shows me nothing here because there's no inductors. Don't click all. Oh, I can click all, that's fine. It just puts me back to everything. So that's all I've got in here right now. I don't have a lot of data, right? So I go passive, and it gives me all of my passives. Then I say I just want my resistors, and it leaves me my resistors. And now that there's only one thing here, it shows me all of my footprints. And then all I do is say, okay, it's an 0603, so I get rid of 0805, and I end up with all of my 0603 resistors in a paginated list. And as simple as that, right? That's how I find a part, break it down. Now, the question is going to be, what's if I have 50 0603 resistor values? Well, right now I don't, unless I guess I'm going to enter everything in my little strips on my part books, maybe. From here, then I might break it down to listing a whole bunch of abbreviated values in another row. Or worst case scenario here is, if I really needed to, I could put, as a final level, I could stick a text box or a drop-down list of all the different values to search through, right? Why show inductor when there are none? It's not showing inductor. It's showing all the part types under that category. See you, Shaq. Catch you later. Well, right now, again, sorting is like my plan is to have all of these headers. You click on them and it'll change the sorting. Hey, Ben. But right now, I don't have that implemented. Right? So for me, it's all about how do I get to the shortest list just using one finger without a text box, without a text field to search from. That's my aim. And that's what I'm doing right here. So it's showing me inductor because it's showing me all of my part categories under passives. But it didn't highlight it, right? If I go back, if I do it again, it didn't highlight inductor because I have no inductors. So it only highlighted the ones that I've got. So if I then get rid of resistor, I've only got one cap. There's my cap. Issue I see is that if you want to get to one part type, you have to turn off all of the ones you don't want rather than select the one you do want. Well, okay, so what you're talking about is one click. Right? Assuming that we start with all on rather than all off, right? What did you say you were writing this in? This is all with in Flask as the framework, using a SQL Alchemy with a SQLite database. How many entries do you expect? 400, 1,000? In this whole thing, I could have 5,000 products in here, but not 5,000 products of one individual type of category, right? In terms of removing redundant information, inductor is not irrelevant as there are none. No, it's not. No, see, I disagree, Greg. That's totally not. Sorry, to me, that's not good UI. Hang on. What if you want to list all... slow down, guys. Can everyone keep in mind, I've been working on this for 4.5 days, right? And I'm still working out in my head how it's going to work, okay? So for me personally, I would never want to look for all Panasonic electrolytes. I'm building this for me. When I'm looking for a part, the manufacturer of the part is always irrelevant for me. That's for me anyway, right? If I have Panasonic electrolytes in here, that's fine, but I'm looking for electrolytes. I'm not looking for Panasonic electrolytes, right? If I narrow it down to just my list of electrolytes, then if I need to do it by supplier, that's a different story. But I don't need to. See on overload. No, I'm not overload. I'm just, okay, so back to this part thing. Showing inductor is very important. You need consistent UI. Like for me, from a user point of view, sometimes showing something here and sometimes not showing it is confusing. Okay? This is not showing what I have. This list here is not showing what I have. This is showing all of the part types in the passive categories. The ones that are highlighted are showing me what I have. This is showing me all of the part types. If I add more part types to here, the part type should always be there, right? Just because if I don't have any inductors and I don't show inductor here, how does someone ever know that an inductor is a category that could be here, right? For consistency point of view, this data should all be there, but I'm highlighting just the ones that I've got. Now, whether this whole thing starts always off, I've thought about the idea of it starting just showing what I've got, but I don't think that's overly smart either. But I think, like, you need to compare this to typing something in a search box. Okay, you're talking about 1, 2, 3 clicks to get to my, or potentially 4 if it's if I'm changing footprint, to get to a just capacitors, just a certain footprint, right? And that is way faster and way more intuitive than getting your mouse or your finger, clicking on a text box, pulling up a keyboard or moving your hands to a keyboard, typing something in, hitting enter, and then going and looking at the list, right? So if you all can't see that, that's fine. But like the gut reaction of having to click none first is really like, you guys use your phones all the time, or your tablets or whatever else. Like, click, click, click with your finger is so fast. I can do 10 clicks with my finger or a mouse faster than you can take your hand from your mouse and put it to your keyboard and start typing, right? I can get there before you've even typed in what you're looking for into a text field. So, you know, if we're going to get down to the level of getting rid of one click, like I feel like that's the level of, yeah, like that's I don't want to go that far. If that makes sense. Yeah, UI is a very debatable thing, and good UI, like good UI for someone is very different to someone else. But it's all about the user experience, right? Competition time. Okay, we can do a competition. I'm pretty sure I can go tap, 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 tap with my finger at least 10 times faster than I can do it with my mouse. Because the mouse needs the hand-eye coordination, I have to move, and the mouse is still faster than getting to a keyboard. Yeah, but if you had caps, inductors, and resistors, you'd have to turn off resistors and inductors to get to cap. If you showed the possible options but all turned off, you select your ones you want. Yeah, but again, like sure. So in the case of this, you're trying to save 1 click or 2 clicks. Combined categories UX aren't optimized either. Sion said this before. Yeah, look, none of this is optimized. I'm still working this out. I'm working this out in my head as I'm going. Now, there's a couple of things I haven't shown you yet. So let's move on from the tapping. So I've got my Panasonic capacitor. I click on. Actually, let me go back to just having all of these on here, right? I've got my passives. I can click on view and expand each one, right? Just one at a time. I had it where I could expand more. Saving however many clicks you have, part types. Saving clicks right now, potentially, but I don't know if... Right now, yeah, like there's so many aspects of what I need to do in this thing, right? Whether I invert the categories. The problem with inverting categories is you always have to start with nothing, right? So I'd be going passives and still have nothing in my list. Sure, I could do that, right? It would look like this, right? And then I could say, okay, I want resistors, right? Does that mean I keep these off as well, my footprints? And then I choose, look, I could definitely do it that way. How to compare them if you only show one? What am I comparing? I'm not comparing, I'm looking for. Let me just go back to here. What problem is this a solution to? So I need to track all of my components, Julian. I've got 100 and something reels here. I've got drawers of components, I've got bags of components, I've got tubs of components, I've got components all over the place. So last week I ordered a reel, it didn't matter about the cost, it was like $5, but I ordered a reel of resistors. I knew I had the resistors here somewhere and I couldn't find them. I spent like days trying to look for these resistors and I couldn't find them. I ordered another reel, I got a reel of 5,000 of them, and then the day the reel turned up, I found a bag in a box somewhere with 1,000 of these resistors, right? So, look, I could definitely invert the logic selection. It could even be, like I don't have a settings screen right now, it could even be a setting, that's fine. Go to fill the fields down. So, okay, just hold on a second. Right, let me just keep going. So, what do I need to compare? Like, I've already got the information I need to compare in this view. So the expansion is for me to be able to see quickly what stock I've got, which I don't have the stock system working right now, right? It shows me, like here it shows me what, oops, didn't mean to do that, sorry. Here it shows me the number of projects, but here it shows me what projects. This is just a way of getting further in. Like if I want to get to the data sheet, for instance, I can click here and I've got the data sheet for that product, right? Right, but I don't need to... The information that's inside here is not something I need to compare with anything else. If you need to be able to compare more information than what's in here, use a different tool. Like I keep saying, just to be clear, I'm building this for me. I've never ever... Like, I'm not looking at comparing components here. Like, this is about tracking what I've got. Like, if I want to compare components, it's because I'm buying something. I'm going to the manufacturer's or the supplier's website, and that's where I'm comparing components. These are for components I own, that I've bought. I'm not looking at comparing them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, very rarely will I ever have... The only time I will ever have 2 lots of 10K 0805 resistors in stock that are different brands is because I couldn't get any more of the one I use and I had to buy an alternate one. And the one I'm using, I'm going to finish before I move over to it. Does that make sense? When can all your parts loaded and will you remember to update it? Well, I don't know. I'll only do that, Greg, if I'm enjoying using the system and if the system's really tuned for what I want. Yes, but how to find 10K resistor? By the name. What do you mean by the name? I don't understand what you mean. How do I find a 10K resistor by the name? By what name? If you're talking about how do I type in somewhere 10K resistor, you don't. I don't want to build a website like that. I'm not interested in building... you might have come in later, I don't know. I don't want it. There's no text boxes to type search into this thing. That's not what I'm trying to do with this. For one thing, this is a great system, perfect for people that are a little more serious than a hobbyist, but not production environment. Thanks, John. Like a lot of the suggestions you guys are throwing out of the ways the other tools work. I don't like those other tools, so I don't want to build a system that works the way those other tools work. 5 types of 10K resistors, 5K resistors. You have 5 types, but I don't have 5 types of 10K resistors. I don't. If you do, then maybe a tool like this isn't for you. But I don't have multiple types of 10K resistors, multiple brands. What I will have is this 10K. So this 10K resistor right here at 0805, I have a reel of them. I have cut tape of those in drawers up on my shelf, and I have a bag of cut tape somewhere. I have 3 different levels of stock for that resistor, but I don't have different brands of 10K 0805 resistors. As I said before, very rarely will that ever happen to me. That'll only ever happen to me. Like if I have a resistor and I like using it, I'll keep buying that brand, that product from that supplier. And the only time I won't is if I can't get that particular one anymore, and then I'll have to shift to a different one. Very rarely will I have more than 2, if even 2. But that's my requirement, right? Does that make sense? Like I'm building this for me. Can't use my neural network for my parts tracking. I was using my neural network, and then I was using a spreadsheet, and it just wasn't working well. Anyway, so finally what I wanted to show is then, if you get to this view here, you can then obviously click edit, and you can edit all your stuff. So I can say, okay, this is also part of Happy, and maybe I've got the manufacturer URL or something or whatever, and then update, and it updates that for me. So now there are 2. So I've got all of this part working right now. The next thing I need to move on to is the stock system. And again, that's going to happen from inside here. You know, I'll be able to click on here and there'll be a button to say add stock. It'll show me all the stock I've got. I can either click on stock links or I can add stock, and then stock is about, so right now you can see there are no suppliers here. There's a manufacturer but no supplier, because I might get the stock from different suppliers. So then I'll add, okay, I've got a reel 10,000 from LCSC. This is the part code for that reel, and this is its location. Right, and I can set up locations for all the different things, if that makes sense. I have 3 different colors of 10K resistors and 4 different types of 10K resistors. 3 different colors. You're talking about through hole? I mean, that's really not going to be the case with surface mount, and we all know that 90% of my stuff's surface mount, right? Interlink camera barcode scanning from your mobile phone. You can't do that from a website. From a web app. I don't think you got access on your phone from a web app. I don't know. Each digital bin has a barcode on it. Each tray numbered. Whatever parts are booked. Right. So again, I'll be able to, like, you'll have barcodes, whatever they are, for all of your stock locations, and I might potentially also do them for stock. I don't know. I don't need to scan stock that way, but I definitely would like to have, if not a barcode, at least a description of where the stock is. So I will say so this reel is on the location type shelf, and description on that is it's on, shelf blah blah blah, or it's in tub number blah blah blah. So worst case, it'll be a description of where it is. Best case will be a code that I can go and find. Do you use the same component number across all of your projects, 10K resistors or R3, or do you design location? Hang on. No, I don't use the same value across all my different projects. I never worry about value numbers. I let them happen as they go. You can use a camera-based scanner from website using JS. Okay, cool. Well, then I can definitely look at that, doing that as well. Cool, thank you. There are lots of scanning and tagging options right now. Like, for me, that's the least of my requirements. Right now, my requirements is just about getting all my stuff in an easy-to-do way, and then it's in somewhere. One location code for everything. Do you have different size and SMD parts, or resistors the same package? No, they're all different. They're all different packages, but that's why I've got here. So if I go to resistors, these are my footprints, right? So I can filter down by footprint quite easily, right? These are all my 0805s. Will I have a lot of 0805? Sure, I might have 20 or 30 different resistors in 0805s, okay? So will my final list here be good enough for me to pick my part from? I don't know yet. Until I get all my data in here, I don't know. Will I need to refine this filtering further? Most likely. But for now, this is all the data I've got, so I can't refine it further. What I can do is, once I get my tag system working, so for instance, this stuff here, it's 10K, 1%, 1/8 watt, I think it's plus 100. I need to expand that out. Parts per million. Those things should be tags, right? They shouldn't be part of the value. The value should just be 10K. So I need to keep refining that. And then if the value is just 10K and these are tags, I can then search from tags as well. Do you have an estimate for the number of parts? For me, I got no idea. Like, a lot. I could easily end up with 1,000 or more parts in here, but varying across a lot of different things, right? Will I ever go and add all of my components from my, my parts sample books? I've got 0603 sample books. I've got 0805 sample books. Will I go and enter every single one of these into my system? Probably not. How often do I go to these? Very rarely. Right? I generally, once a month I might go to a strip of one of these, and it'll generally only happen if I've forgotten to order a part that I need, or I'm experimenting with something and I want to try a slightly different value to what I've chosen, right? If I'm going to add all these in, that's going to exacerbate how many things I've got. But to me, this is not stock, right? I'm not interested. I don't need to track what's in here. That's not stock for me. For me, the issue is, where is the part I need for this project? I'm trying to load my pick and place, or I need to go and build a whole bunch of Reflow Masters, and how do I find the part I need? Right. For example, everyone's been really patient with me about this, which is great. I might actually build a Reflow Master Pro today. So there are components I need on that board, and those components are new, some of them, right? I've just ordered them. They're somewhere in my office, and I don't know where they are. So that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Let me put this away. Will you include parts loaded on the pick and place machine? Absolutely, because that's stock for me, right? So that's one of my locations is pick and place. So I'll be able to add stuff. Now, one of the things that, one of the things that I'm less overly worried about how I'm going to implement is stock depletion. Like, I'm not going to go to the level of trying to work out how many parts I've used on a reel on my pick and place machine, right? For me, I can look at the reel and go, that's half full. I don't need to know. Like, every time I do a run of boards, I don't need to know how many passives I used. I'm not building a system where I can say, I just built 100 tiny picos and it goes and works out all of the stock that I used and takes off my stock database. I'm not doing that. I'm not interested in doing that, right? I know other packages do that. I can't account for wasted parts loading the reel or wasted parts unloading or wasted pickups and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, those values will never be accurate. Doing it for higher value components, like smaller runs of them, like Pico D4s and stuff, well, yeah, I'll track how many of those I've got. But when it comes to reels of passives, I'm not interested in trying to track stuff like that, if that makes sense. No demand forecasting and auto ordering. No. I don't need demand forecasting or auto ordering. I don't need that. Do I want to be able to see where my stock levels are low on non-passive types of, or non-reel based components? Sure. Will my system do that? Absolutely. Will I be able to remove stock from items, from parts? Absolutely. Am I building a system that does this fancy thing that lets me know, hey, in a month's time, I'm going to need blah, 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 so you better order something now? No. Because I don't need that. I don't ever see how that could be overly accurate. The only way that can be really accurate is if I'm meticulous at maintaining my data, and that's not what this is for. This is, for me, primarily is to know what I've got and where it is to start with, not necessarily how much I have left. Okay? If I want to know how much I have left, I can look. But I can only look if I know where it is. Right now, I don't know where my parts are. Does that all make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm building something that doesn't meet everyone's expectations, but it meets mine. Is the way I work perfect? Maybe a marker for long lead time. But I'm going to have, no, there will be a lead time. So in the stock, there's a lead time. In the part, there isn't, because so manufacturer lead times are only important if I can't source the part. And often most of these parts I can buy from lots of different places. So just because, for instance, LCSC might not have stock, I might be able to get the stock from somewhere else. So lead time on the part is not overly important for me. Availability of the stock is important, but that's on a per supplier basis. Right? If you have a project bomb and you buy X quantity, then it should be one click to deduct the stock. Well, I will have a project bomb if I've got all the parts in, because they're assigned to projects, right? But could I potentially, yes, I could do a one click to reduce the stock, absolutely. Or it could be an up and down arrow. How many did I build? Click, 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 remove, right? Or even a text field if I had to. Sure. Can I do that? Yes. Will I do that? Likely. Where is it on my priority list? Really, really low. You can input a board bomb and have it subtracted from stock. Right, yes. That's the same thing, right? I don't have to put a board bomb in there because I'm already doing that when I assign the parts, right? All these parts are assigned to projects already. So all I need to do is, on the project view, for instance, this view doesn't do anything yet. Maybe I can go to Tiny Pico view or whatever I do, and I can say I've built 1, I've built 10, whatever. Yes, and it can deduct the stock for me, no problem, because it already knows this. Like, this already shows here that the Tiny Pico Nano, there are 2 parts assigned to it. So I don't need to build a bomb; it does it automatically for me, if that makes sense. You said earlier, but think you missed it. Looks great and a billion times better than what I could do. Thanks, Rob. Just, yeah, again, I'm building it for me, right? It's a tool for the way I work and to solve my particular problems. And I think that, although it might not solve everyone's problems, I think it's going to potentially be a much better solution for a much broader range of makers and small entities than what is out there right now in terms of usability and simplicity. Will it be too simple? I don't know. But I feel like my only other options of things I can use are way too complex or cumbersome or too... Intimidating is not the right word, but it's just... Yeah. I used the wire cutters 10 seconds ago. How can they not be on my desk? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to solve you with that one. Hey, Dustin! Good to see you, mate. What about RFID stickers? You can tag path when it comes in, store it somewhere and find it back. Absolutely. The problem with that, but then RFID stickers are only good if I've got some portable way of moving around to scan where they are. And moving around and being portable means I need a solution that can be portable, right? Whether it's on my phone or whatever else. And I have none of the tools that I've seen so far or that I've played with or looked at will work on my phone. So, well, not in a way that I can actually read any data on it. So, again, the possibilities are big. You can tell how many of your projects you have sufficient quantity to build 198 to 21 auto shields. Absolutely, Mike. I mean, they're all... So that's what my home screen's going to be for. Like, right now, there's a home screen that's got nothing on it. Yeah. Like, this home screen will just be a whole bunch of info for me. And this info might be, quite easily, you know, you're running low on stuff for this product or whatever. Like, I've got all the data. I can make all of those things. But right now, they're not the most important things for me. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not building this... The framework for this is not deficient. As in, it's not going to prevent me from adding all these features that you've been talking about. It's just that most of those features aren't things I'm not necessarily interested in for my needs, so I probably won't add them straight away. Or they'll be low priority things, that's all. Will the system be able to be extended to do it? Absolutely. And as I said, assuming that I get it done, which is my plan, I will put it out there as open source, and if people want to grab it and make it do things that I haven't implemented, no problem, all good. Loving the passion. I feel you make this endeavor a success. I hope so. It's just going to be successful for me, remember? Just for me. Okay, folks, I've made you suffer through that long enough. Let's look at some... Yeah, David, I know that, like, we've discussed those expensive RFID ones before, like the one you got at SparkFun and stuff. They are very expensive. Like, for me to run out and pay $200 US is the software the rabbit hole. The software's not the rabbit hole, it's the... You know, so I could have just written a really basic text box screen for a database to solve my problem. But to me, it would have maybe solved where are my parts, but it wouldn't have solved how am I going to maintain my parts? Like, how am I going to make myself use this thing, right? So my rabbit hole is the amount of time I won't call it wasting, the amount of time I'm investing in trying to work out how to make this really usable. That's my rabbit hole. Like, my iteration and iteration and iteration and iteration on what I'm working on and refining on what I'm working on before I've even got all the features in there yet. That's my rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't started on the storage stuff, or nothing UI-wise. I haven't started, like, UI-wise on the stock system yet, because I'm refining the other stuff first. Like, I want to make sure that how I'm going to implement it, I don't have to go and rework it all later when I work out something else. That's my rabbit hole. Like, it's what turned into what was going to be a weekend exercise is now going to be probably, you know, by the time I've really got everything in here that I want, you know, a month or two's worth of work. No point having a spreadsheet on a web page. It needs to be something to make it useful and easy to maintain. Thanks, Rob. Well, that's exactly right. Like, I don't want a spreadsheet on a website, and that's what I was using anyway. Okay, so I've got some stuff. Let's I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to make sure I turn it this way because I don't want to dox myself again. So in here is, if I didn't answer some of your questions about my system, please ask again. Just at me. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to discuss features that you think it needs to be in there and stuff. Like as long as you'll just keep in mind that I'm very much building something for me and my needs at the moment. All non-programmers can return. Yeah. It wasn't about programming though. It really wasn't. It was not a programming talk. Anyway, I don't think it was. To me, this is totally maker specific. Ask when she is 10 feet tall. So I have a new panel from 1Bit Squared. We have a brand new panel. Shall we see if it works? I'm just going to, it's a bit dark. Looks okay. No damage. Bit of sticky on the side. Shall we plug it in and see if it works? Thanks, Andy. Damned, no chocolate in the freezer. No chocolate in the freezer. Hardware is nothing without software. It was about solving parts management. If it was about soft programming, it would have been jabbering about Flask. Right. If it was about software, I would have brought up Visual Studio Code and been doing a code review. But it's not. Don't start, Julian. I don't want any problems. So we need to see if this works. So I need to get some stuff. Okay. We have a screen. We have an FPGA and an expander and so I'm not going to be playing with the FPGA today. I just want to see if the screen works. That's all. Just so we're clear. Gotta make sure I plug it in the right way. The finest 2-minute song ever. Obsolete in the what? It's going to do something awesome. It's probably not. It's probably just going to flash some colors on the screen, I think. I think that's all it's going to do is flash some color on the screen. Now, I need to get my power cable. And I have... Okay. So... where's my power? 1 second, I need to go find my power. Put it away in a box. See? I know where most of my stuff is in the office, sometimes. No. Yes! See, some things I know where they are and some things I don't. For 25 years. What's for 25 years? Don't say magic smoke. And no, I'm not putting 24 volt power into it. 5 volts. Can everyone read that? 5 volts. I'm not that crazy. Okay, so power. Power. Guess this is the test. I'm going to unplug the FPGA just for the moment. 5 volts. Power. Let's plug it in. I'm scared. 12 volts just fine. No, I don't think 12 volts would be fine either. These are 5 volt panels. Okay, well nothing happened, but that's good. There's no smoke. So let's plug this in. So for those that aren't aware, my previous panel, it arrived with some shipping damage. It looked like it was just LEDs, but when I plugged it in, it doesn't work. Did a lot of debugging on it and stuff, and couldn't get it working, and without even flinching, Peter from 1 Bit Squared just sent me another one. Just like that. Okay, I need USB. Whoop, my USB cable's unplugged. 1 second. That's annoying. Okay. USB. Plug it in. Ooh, fancy lights on the FPGA. Let's turn this over and hope that we get some nice pictures, shall we? And we do! Oh, that's bright! Holy moly. The panel works. I bet he did flinch. Really? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, he was upset that the panel arrived damaged. I seem to be the only one, unfortunately. Look at that. Every pixel is working. God, that's bright. Look at the density on that. I think this is a P2 panel. Now I can't see. Yeah, sorry about that. I did warn everyone. Yeah, the shipping companies are becoming terrible at caring about the products. But this box arrived and there was no squishies or anything on there. TAN confirmed. I don't know what TAN is. Anyway, that's working. That's really good. So I now have a panel to play with my FPGA, which I'm going to get to one day. One day. Okay, I'm going to move that to the side and move on to the next thing. The next thing is a box from JLC PCB that I've not opened yet. Suntan. Oh, right, the Suntan, yes. I don't think it exists. So, I've not opened this yet. This only arrived on Sunday. But inside here is 2 things and some stencils. I've got some, these are my PCBs for my 80 by 160 IPS displays. And now you're going to go out of focus. Come on. So these are, I think, 10 panels I got. God, look at that. Why they bubble wrapped it? Anyway. So let's say how many panels? Quantity of 10. So there's 15 on a board. So it's 150 panels, which I need to now work out how I'm going to put them together, pick and place them, and then hand put the screens on. That's pretty cool. But what's even cooler is my Reflow Master Pro, my first boards I got made finally. Wow, this is like the generation game. The idea is FPGA gives better results, more smooth operation. So an FPGA is a hardware solution, whatever you're developing, right? Rather than running software in a processor. So it's all like, you know, in a processor, your code is pretty much run one instruction at a time. Like, forget about multi-threading. Like, it's one instruction at a time, bang, 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 bang. An FPGA doesn't work that way. Like, you can do many simultaneous things on an FPGA. So yeah, so harder to develop for, because you're writing your implementation in a hardware abstraction language. Hey BitLooney, why me no Angular JS? Because I don't like Angular or React. For me, it's because I don't need to, because I don't want to. Yeah. So this is, let me get closer. This is my Reflow Master Pro board. Wow, my first one. I procrastinated for a while to get this made because this version, if you remember, is using the Nano, my new Nano, which I need to go find. So it's using my Revision 2 Nano, which again, I haven't decided if I'm going to make or not. Well, yeah. So I was hesitant to go and make this, but I figured I've got some Nanos here anyway. Can we get closer? So I've got some Nanos, Rev 2 Nanos here anyway, so I might as well at least start making the board, and that way I can start working on the software. Just listening in the background while doing taxes. Oh no! You're telling me to have fun. I hope you have fun, BitLooney. So yeah, that just sits right there. Hopefully that my footprint lines up. Kind of looks like it does, I think. I can't really see from here. So that's pretty cool. So I mean, obviously 5 is the minimum I could get, so I got 5. You know, if I could have got 1, I would have done 1. And I got a stencil, because I didn't really want to have to put it together by hand. I already had stencils and was paying shipping anyway, so big deal, an extra $6 for a stencil. How exciting. And so let me just grab the screen. So this is thanks Handy Mouse. This is a damaged screen, unfortunately. This is one from way back. So the idea is that obviously there'll be a header here, but the screen, this is the first time I'm seeing if this lines up, but it'll sit a bit higher. Whoa, that did not like the, let's try that again. Focus. Stop. Okay, so yeah, it'll sit a bit higher, but the idea is that it lines up, please does it line up with the holes. Oh, pin's not the right spot, try it again. Okay, good. Oh, it does, it lines up. So it lines up here with the holes. Oh, come on, camera. Sorry, folks. And so from a mounting point of view, from stability, there'll be standoffs in here. So the screen will be mounted to the Reflow Master Pro like that. Not that you're ever going to be able to see with... You're not even on autofocus, so what is going on? Sorry. No, this is... Sorry, folks. This is not... So if it's not OBS, it's my camera. What can I tell you? This is crazy. Yep, won't focus now. I think maybe it doesn't like the bubble on the screen. See that? It's just, my camera will not focus. Wow. Sorry folks, this is crazy. So yeah, the board looks really nice. And the all the details on the back. So obviously the screw terminals sit on the back, not on the front, not in between here. So even though they're marked on both sides, the labels, they're actually on the back. and they face out. And I got some fancy blue ones, I think. I've not seen chat. I need to go back and look at chat in a second. No, it's not a dirty. No, I don't think it's a dirty lens. It's just keeps. It just didn't like this bubble for some reason. It kept weird. So yeah, the screw terminals are on the back, and it's using 508mm screw terminals this time. Nice and big, easy to use. Quick, someone hit emergency stop. What do we do emergency stop for? Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be. So the ones I bought are actually 4s, not 2s. They're in a package somewhere here on the ground, which I'm not going to go through right now. So I found blue ones that are in sets of 4. So 4, 4, 4, and 4. So they're easier to solder on for me. DC jacks on the back as well. USB on the front. Buttons down the side. So that looks pretty cool. I left some values on. Oh well. I left some silk screen on that shouldn't be here, but that's okay. I'll fix that later. What did I miss in the chat? Someone hit emergency stop. What did we stop? It's on your board. All PCBs should have an emergency stop button. Oh, right. Hey, the hookup. I use Eagle. And I really, I like it. I enjoy using it. It just works well with my brain. I still want to, now that KiCad's maturing a bit, I still want to maybe relook at learning that as well. But yeah, I'm an Eagle guy. Yes, right. The emergency stop on the board. So yeah, that's one of the features I got asked for. I think Chris Orban, I'm not sure if he's in chat right now, he asked for the ability to hook in an emergency stop button. So this hopefully has an emergency stop if it's wired up correctly, which will be, yeah, it'll just be a screw terminal, so you'll be able to wire in whatever you want or not. And the relays, well, what do you mean, where are they? You'll be connecting SSRs to this externally. No onboard relays, because you can't get things that'll take, 25 amps on a board here. Not AC, anyway. One operation at a time is exactly the problem. Testing is far harder. Oh, okay, we're talking about FPGAs, that's cool. Is it a software emergency stop or hardware? It's a software emergency stop. At least for this revision anyway. Like it's yeah, it'll just be monitoring. I'll just do an interrupt on a pin, and then if it triggers, it'll yeah, just the software will stop, turn everything off. I'm not quite sure how I'll do a hardware stop. A hardware stop that doesn't just kill the whole board. I don't necessarily want to bring the whole board down for it. You know what I mean? Like I could just, shutting the power down on the board won't necessarily stop the SSR from going. Like I'd want to have the SSR get pulled low, like or all of them, because you could potentially drive fans and all sorts of other stuff with it as well. You could have up to 4 SSRs. 3 SSRs you could have connected to here. Yeah, so it's going to be software for now. We'll see how it goes. Get a big red emergency stop button for safety, of course. I don't know. I mean, if other people want to do that, sure. SSR, solid state relay. Once again, I have one somewhere. So this is an SSR. Just switch cameras again. This is an example of one type of SSR. So you basically got DC input comes in here, if we can focus. So DC input here, I'm just going to brighten it up if I can. No, as bright as we can go. And I can drive it anywhere from 3 volts up to 32 volts of DC. And I PWM that, and the AC goes here. And so I'm basically switching the AC on and off, or PWM it, whatever I'm doing, by the input from the DC. So I can connect this to GPIO, and as I PWM the GPIO, it'll PWM the AC signal on the other side. So that's how I turn the elements on and off on my oven. And you can pretty much anything, any type of AC. And you can also do DC. So for instance, with my fans, so you can either connect a 5-volt fan directly to these and just turn the fan on and off, but you don't have to. You could have this go to a either an AC, DC to AC fan if you want like a big industrial fan, or DC to DC. So I could use a DC to DC SSR or relay, where I'm switching one side and the other side could be running a 24-volt fan, for instance. AC at 50, does it output DC? No, it doesn't output DC because it still outputs positive, negative, right? Hey, Maymakes. It still outputs. Why do you need a 40 amp relay if the house breakers are at 15 amps? My house breakers are not 15 amps. Yours might be. This is what they had in stock. Like I don't need 40 amps. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to be pulling 40 amps with this. I think the one I've got on my Reflow Master right now is rated for 25 amps. I believe I need between 15 and 17 amps. But our house fuses are higher than 15 amps. I don't know how high they are, but they're definitely higher. They're either 25 or 30 amps on our fuses in the house. I'm pretty sure. Got you had more than one SSR, you could have an NC switch on with enable pin off a buffer to SSR control lines. Sure. It's like, again, so from a hardware point of view, I couldn't think of how I'd implement it. And I didn't want to, although I spent ages before I got them made, I didn't want to hold up the design by trying to come up with a hardware solution. Like a software solution is really easy to do, right? It's just one pin going to an I/O. I had an I/O spare, so I thought, why not? If it works okay, then I could always look at doing something expanded as a hardware cutoff for later for a future revision. Does PWM work with AC properly? My AC theory is pretty much forgotten. My AC theory is terrible, but the you can definitely you can PWM. The issue is timing your PWM to match the crossing line of your AC when it goes from through the zero line, right? So it's about like if you don't get your 0 point crossing right for your PWM, then you're basically not your DC is not switching the same as your AC top to bottom, if that makes sense. Like it's all about getting your maths right for the zero crossing. And to be fair, I didn't for my Reflow Master. All it means is my PWM on my SSR is just less efficient, but totally fine for what I'm doing, right, with the toaster oven. Like it's far from an industrial solution. You can use a triac for AC and a MOSFET for DC fans. I'm already using a MOSFET for. Oh no, I'm using a transistor. I can, but I can still only pass small currents through those. Casio. So with the this board has to support for the relay. Like I don't know what people are going to attach it to. So like just sticking a FET on there is not really, or a triac is really not. Yeah, I don't know. Like this way the customer provides their own SSR and it doesn't really matter what they provide. I'm just driving DC and they need to get an appropriate SSR for whatever power they need to be switching, right? The onus is on them because, I learned very quickly with the Reflow Master at the start that the scope of different ovens that people are going to use and the scope of different SSRs people are going to use, from really cheap ones from China to more expensive ones and whatever, like I can't control any of that. So just me driving the DC side and putting the onus on them is the way I need to go, I think. I think some SSRs automatically wait for the next zero crossing of the AC to switch off. They might, I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't know a lot about, the internals of an SSR and how they really work. And it's not even something on my list to learn right now, to be honest with you. For me, all I need to know is DC on this side, you can't see me, DC on this side can control AC on this side without me having to do anything other than connect the AC, because AC scares the bejesus out of me. Hey Michael, it works good enough. An SSR is just zero crossing triac. Yeah, like I think at one point I was looking at what's inside an SSR, and then hey Sherlock Holmes, hey everyone, hello for people that I haven't said hello to already. So I apologise. 15 amp max for wall sockets, I thought. 16 ampere in SA, 20 amp for fuse box, plug circuits, lights a 10 amp breaker for light circuits. Okay. Yeah, I didn't consider the wall socket. That's interesting. Well, yeah. So as I said, my oven. Yeah, I needed 15 amps for the oven. I think my toaster oven, like at maximum temperature, at maximum power running, it can pull up to 15 amps, I believe. So I've got a 25 amp SSR on there, but I needed another SSR, and I walked into the store I get them from, and all they had in stock was the 40, not the 25, and it was like $4 more, and so I just bought it. I bought it for something that I didn't end up needing, but now it's sitting here. But now I'll use it for my Reflow Master Pro to test with, so I don't have to pull my Reflow Master apart. Pretty sure you've got 5 amp breakers. Really? How do you only have 5 amp breakers? Like, how would you run a RGB LED display in your house that's pulling more than 5 amps? Like, how would BitLooney run his ping pong wall? That's crazy. Isn't an SSR a fancy couple of FETs? No, it'd definitely be triacs, or FETs and triacs. I don't know. The point of switching on at 0 points is that you don't get a sudden spike. It ramps up with the waveform. Oh, 5 amp on the lighting circuit. Okay. I don't know. 5 amp DC is not 5 amp AC at 230 volts. I know. I know. It was a joke. It was an RGB LED joke. Sorry. Bad form. Sorry. I'm tired. I'm going to continue with the build. Okay, so do you want me to build? Like, what's the time? It's already... Wow. The stream's been almost going for 2 hours already. Hit on, just switch the cycles in bursts as heaters demand slow second period. You got 32 amps for your socket circuits. Was that total amperage? Anyway, I don't know. Did I miss the rabbit? I'm going down another rabbit hole right now, I think. I think we're all going down a rabbit hole of AC. What's the time? Are we going to do a build? Are people going to stick around for me to build a Reflow Master Pro? Yes, ring main 32 amps. Right, okay. Rabbit tasted good. Chicken. Unrelated question, how do you plan to keep track of your projects? What do you mean, how do I keep... Well, that's, again, my system can also technically keep track of... Like, I could always add that to my system. If all my projects are in the system. I mean, every project I work on has some form of parts, right? And by the way, my system's designed to also track hardware, as in, like, screws and nuts and bolts and whatever. So, yeah, like, there's no reason why this can't be project tracking as well as component tracking. But I do have a to-do list. Yes, I'm currently using just my reminders app on my Mac. I was using Wunderlist for a while. Oh, Chris is here. Hello. Just talking about you. Are your ears burning? So right now, yeah, but I've got lists of tasks I need to do, but all my projects are in my head, which is kind of crazy. Restart OBS, reboot the router just in case. Also reformat the confuser, main breaker, and plug it all back in again. What if I start doing a build? Yeah, the build depends on how easily I can find the parts. I know where some parts are. What do I need? I need those, that. Yeah, I can find the parts for these. The problem is the board's really not going to do anything. I mean, other than plugging it in and seeing whether it can find the Pico D4. That's about as far as we're going to get if we do a build today. Bye, helmet. Catch you later. Photo tracking equals whiteboard. I don't have a whiteboard in here. Yeah, no, I'm getting to the 2-hour mark. You need your new software. I do need my new software, but I can also keep moving without it. Odoo is open source in Python. I don't know what Odoo is. Is that project tracking? There are so many tools out there. There are so many, yeah, task list, tracking list, project management, project this, project that, frameworks, tools. I mean, it's bombarded. You know, like people have been messaging me on Twitter and stuff, which I appreciate. You know, letting me know about other solutions to, you know, databases and front ends and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's overwhelming how much stuff there is. But I'm still looking at making a custom solution just for me, reflowing the reflow controller in a reflow oven with the reflow controller there. That's pretty funny. LP for persons and small, company and big. Okay, I'll have a look. Odoo. I'll have a look later. I've added it to my list of something to look at. Is an all-in-one business software including CRM, website, commerce, billing, accounting. See, no. You lost me already. Thanks. I don't want an all-in-one everything solution. That's, yeah. You know, I want highly customized, tailored solution. How to track the project tracking project. That's very funny. I don't, look, guys, I'm really sorry. I don't think I'm going to start building a Reflow Master now. It's already almost at the 2-hour mark. I'm on 4 hours sleep. And I know if I start down building one of these things, it's going to be a while before I get it done and tested. So maybe I'll make a video of it, and I'll do it today on video, and you can get to all see it on Friday, maybe. Because building tools is always more fun than finishing projects. There are plenty of tools. I think they're both fun, but yeah, and the problem is building tools and building projects and not finishing them. That also happens with tools, right? So yeah, I want to make sure that I at least get to the point where I finish the first feature set of my system. AMA, okay, well, we've been doing that this whole chat, but I'm happy. Let's do an AMA if you want to. Like, it's not like I haven't been answering questions already, but go for it. AMA, hit me up. Philip got excited. You got excited about Odoo. Yeah, it's nice that it's written in Python, but it sounds like it's an all-in-one everything thing. Hey, Setprod, thank you very much. Thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it. How many different vendors do you order from on a regular basis? Not that many. So LCSC. And obviously JRC PCB for my PCBs. By the way, I want to track my PCBs in here as well. Like, so I've got, apart from all my projects, because if you really think about all the projects I've got, that means anything that I build, you know, I would easily have 60 right now, 60 ongoing projects. So that includes like all my Tiny Pico shields. Like, I've got panels everywhere. Like, I've got some shields I've got no panels left. Some shields I've got 6 panels. Like, I want to be able to track all my PCBs as well. Anyway, off topic. So how many suppliers? So JLC, PCB, and LCSC are probably the most I order from, most common. And then I buy from DigiKey. I buy from Element 14, rarely. DigiKey is probably the next biggest. Occasionally Mauser, occasionally Element 14, and I was buying from Arrow, but their shipping's too expensive now. When they were free shipping, it was awesome, but with their shipping costs now, it's often cheaper for me to buy from DigiKey or Mauser, because I get free shipping over a certain value, where Arrow don't do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and RS components. So I mean, there's only like five or six really, and then just random stuff here and there. Like occasionally the hardware store, like if I can't, if they've got screws or nuts that I need, How many insulator makers does it take to change a light bulb? I don't know. I can hear Flynn calling out. I don't know how many. Well, obviously none, because I haven't been changing my light bulbs. So it takes either none or too many. Yeah. I hope those downlights are LED. No, they're not LED. Oh, that's right. Were you not? Oh, you weren't here on the last stream, Julian. No, they're not. They're still halogens, because they're on dimmers, and so I can't just switch. I can't switch just the LED and the transformer. I also need to. Apparently, they not at a reasonable price. I can't get a transformer that'll work with my dimming system, so I need to. Yeah, it's much more complicated. The whole house is all LED, but in here I couldn't do it because of the dimming system, and I use the dimming system all the time. Super chat isn't showing for me. I thought you disabled it. I haven't banned anyone. No, I don't. No, I don't even know you could ban people with super chat. What have I missed? Multiple bag sizes. Watchmaker cast, and you can see me eating from a bag. Eating from a bag in the background. What are you eating, James? Mauser have a cooler sounding name. I don't know. Mauser's a weird name. What parts category are Maltesers? No, it's the location. That's the kitchen cupboard. DigiKey, when they started out as a little catalogue house. Yeah, DigiKey have come a long way. They're massive now, aren't they? Dimmers. There's no place for romance in a workshop. Why am I demonetized? What did I say? Oh, Maltesers, right. Were you eating a bag of Maltesers, were you? I didn't know that. I didn't see. Okay, wow. Yeah, there are lots of dimming LED solutions, absolutely. But like, I need to replace what's in my roof right now, and it definitely can be done. It's just they're expensive. They're not the cheap transformer changes. Well, maybe that's just demaltesized. Maybe it's just a like lighting companies here trying to capitalize. Like maybe it's not true. I don't know, but. When we changed our house over, it was very reasonable. But these ones in here, it was like almost 5 times the price on the transformers to change them over. So I just didn't do it at the time. Demonized. So that was it. That was the only question, which is where do I buy my stuff from? My suppliers. Did everyone have a good Halloween? We don't really do Halloween here. Well, not in our house anyway, but obviously in Australia it's not overly big, but there was lots of kids walking around in the streets with their parents. Reserve all current draw. We still have public phone boxes. Oh no, we don't. Do we still have It's been a while since I've seen a public phone box. I missed all the other questions. What were the other questions? Did I really? Hang on, let me go back. How are the kids go? Oh, I did miss some questions. Wait. How are the kids going at school? That's from Ian. Looking forward to nice year next year. How are the kids? It's going okay at school. At home, different story. But at school, yeah, no, they're going okay. Ollie's in grade 6 next year. That is just nuts. So we've been looking at high schools for her. Yeah, I think Flynn, no kids enjoy going to school, but I think, yeah, they're doing okay at school, which is good. Looking forward to next year. I don't know. We try to take things one day at a time in our house. One day at a time. And Mike's playing dress-ups. Oh, Halloween. Right. Okay. High school is crazy. I still can't believe I've got kids, let alone that I've got a daughter that's about to be going to high school in a year. That is nuts. It's making me feel very old, let me tell you. I'm sure we've got phone boxes somewhere. But I don't know if... We had at least 50 kids come by for Halloween. We had no one. Actually, no, I think Yaz turned the buzzer off, so we wouldn't have heard even if they did come. I don't know, yeah. Ben, we dressed up for Halloween, stocked up on candy, and no one showed up. Oh, no. Did you eat all the candy yourself? That's the downside, right? Oh, no, that'd be bad. Of course, there are still phone boxes. How else would YouTubers do unboxing? Okay. That's weird, Julian. That was a really weird joke. Downside. Is that to me? What, having all the candy left over? Mine's heading to the sixth form. Holy moly. Wow, Rob. Time to send him off to university and kick him out of the house. That's what I say. Eating the stock of candy is still a work in progress. Yeah. Not good. They converted mostly of the phone boxes to Wi-Fi hotspots. Yeah, that's what... Telstra have done a lot of that here as well. Hey, Story Diver. Hey, Jess. You gonna finish them off today? Awesome. Must admit, we locked the door when the chocolate solid reserves ran low and ate the last 10% ourselves. Good on you, Adam. That's the thing, we got plenty of chocolates and lollies and chips and stuff in the house. You can't not have that when you got kids, right? Oh, hello. We've got a visitor. And it's not Yaz.
Yep, not Yaz.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We've got a wave there.
Hi, everybody. What?
Nothing. I heard you calling out outside. What's going on?
I didn't call out outside.
No, anyway, whatever. What's going on?
Doing normal stuff, obviously.
Oh, you're nervous. Someone can't talk.
I'm not.
You're not? Okay, cool.
I'm doing normal stuff.
Normal stuff. Normal morning stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Do you like school?
Yeah.
You do like school? Okay,
Yeah.
they were asking how's school going. Is school going good?
Yes.
Yes?
Yep.
What's your most favourite thing about school?
Recess and lunch.
Recess and lunch. And coming home afterwards,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously.
yeah. So the whole liking school thing is more about not the learning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah? What else? What else? You a bit tired? You've been up early, huh?
Yeah.
Mr. Flinney got up when I got up this morning. Naughty, naughty. Yeah, even though we say stay in bed, keep your light off, try to stay to sleep. What does Flinney do? Gets up and plays
Yep.
at 6 o'clock in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning.
But it's fun.
Yeah,
Fun.
it's fun. Oh, hello, Yaz. Tell me about Star Wars. Yaz wants to know about Star Wars. What's your favourite? Star Wars is your favourite now, right?
Yeah.
That is-
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously.
Why? Obviously.
I keep watching it.
You do.
And the best movie ever, the one I like is...
Which one?
There's two. Well, one's not out yet. Star
Then
Wars...
how do you know it's your favourite if it's not out yet?
Because...
Shh.
Because I watched the trailer and it's awesome. So, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker and Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens. Yeah, both of them.
So Force Awakens is your favourite now, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's really good because I had the game of it and it's actually like a game of it. It's actually really cool. It is the whole movie, but it's just different. It's different. Well, it's not different because it has it's different adventures, it has different missions
Sure.
to do with them, but it's still the exact same.
It's the characters from the film, but you do slightly different things, yeah? Okay.
And there's also
you don't have to scream. It's okay.
and there's also in episode 6 when they go to when the rebels go to Endor, and when Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader fights, and that, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the game.
Okay.
It's actually part of the game. Don't know why. It's episode 6.
That's okay.
But you can.
Because it leads into episode 7.
Yeah.
And how many books you got? Star Wars books?
I think 10.
10. Wow.
I have
And
no
you
idea.
got some new ones, yeah? You got Where's the Wookiee? So does everyone know, like, Where's Wally? Or Where's Waldo, whatever. It's different in different countries. But you know the books Where's Wally? Well, they've got Where's Wookiee?
Where's the Wookiee? Like Chewbacca, there's like Where's the Wookiee?
So there's 3 books out already. Where's the Wookiee? 1, 2, and 3.
I've got 3, and I got 3 on. Wait, what day was it?
On Monday. So now you got all 3 of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Where's the Wookiee? Disney's cashing in. What can we tell you? Really, Julian? Daisy's a friend of a friend twice removed. Okay. So does that mean that she has no idea who you are? Have you said hi? Have you met her? So I don't even know if any questions have come. Yuz or Ollie? I have no idea where Ollie is or where Yuz is. Been looking after Dad.
Ollie's on your iPad doing some blah blah, etc., etc., and
Drop the
Mum's
volume.
doing some work, etc., etc., getting ready for we got to go to school. Not school. I don't know how to explain it.
So on Wednesdays, Ollie and Flynn go to what's called the Learning Project, which is they do some schoolwork there.
It's like
But it's where they've got their psychs and the speechies and everyone else for, and so yeah they do their schoolwork in an environment that helps them with their all the other skills and everything that they need to work on.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let the Wookiee win. Yes. Flynn is just planning ahead. Next one will be favourite. Good life skills. Sure. It actually does look. I'm quite excited by the film, especially because it's ending.
Wait, it's ending?
As in, it's the last one. Yeah.
Wait, what the heck?
It's the ninth episode. It's the last episode
Oh, why can't there be more episodes?
because it's enough already.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay. You're young. Trust me. It's enough. It's enough Star Wars.
No, I actually watched all the Star Wars except.
So there's questions. What was for breakfast today, Flynn? What did you have for breakfast? Fruit Loops. So, how many bowls of Fruit Loops do you eat a day?
Well, today I got 1.
So far, but normally, how many? So you normally have what, two in the morning
And 1 in the afternoon.
and 1 in the afternoon. So 3 bowls of Fruit Loops Flynn has a day. What's your favourite food in the world, Flynn? Fruit Loops?
I think candy, chocolate, and Fruit Loops.
I think Fruit Loops is the very top. This kid eats a large box of Fruit Loops. Like, he would eat a large box a day. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney. I hope they make more spin-off films, like the individual films.
Yeah.
But the trilogy stuff, that can... Or not trilogy, you know what I mean? The main storyline, that can finish enough.
Yeah, there's also like movies like the Clone Wars, and also there's a TV show called the Clone Wars, and also Droid Tales. I only started Droid Tales I think yesterday. I did the whole 5 episodes. There's only 5 episodes, and there's only 1 season, but it's actually really good.
I think there might be more. I just haven't got them.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look for them.
My friend Owen Thomas, he said there's only 5 episodes. He watched it.
Okay, well, maybe there's only 5.
Yeah.
There you go. My niece added her weight in Fruit Loops. I mean, I got to say, they're just like, there's nothing good in them, right? It's a box of coloured sugar.
It's not coloured sugar.
Fruit Loops. There's very little nutrition in them. That's all I can say. All I can say. Wednesday school. Is Wednesday school better than regular school? Do you like Wednesdays better?
I say 50-50. I mean,
Is a fence sitter.
yeah, both of them. I'd rather do both of them. Even if it's a would you rather question. It's like a would you rather question, but I think I might do both.
Okay.
Even though we're allowed
Yeah,
to.
Wednesday's very different. It's very challenging for them.
No, it's not. We'll have to get 30 ticks. Well, and all he has to get 60.
Okay.
No, that
Okay.
is true.
Not challenging at all. That's fine.
Sometimes it is.
The spin-off films have been great. I really enjoy them. Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Rogue One. I can see one of a bubble.
Yep.
A bubble.
Yeah, I think Rogue One's probably is probably my favourite so far. I like Solo, like the backstory, but I think the whole story around Rogue One definitely my favourite.
I actually think the order is episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and then it's Solo, a Star Wars movie. Then it's Rogue One. Then it's episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, then episode 7, episode 8, and episode 9. I think that's the order of all the Star Wars.
Quite literal, isn't it?
Well, I forgot the Clone Wars.
Limited edition unicorn coloured Fruit Loops. Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. A bit loony. Rogue One.
Yep, Rogue One.
It was just. I loved it. It was really gritty. It wasn't a happy, family friendly Star Wars. I feel like the rest of them kind of were.
Yeah. I actually know what the movie's actually about. The movie's actually about how the rebels got the plans to destroy the first Death Star in episode 4.
That's right. High five. Ow, my finger. Okay, so there is only 5 episodes. Thanks, Ian. So, Did You Cool Things wants to know, what do you think of Jar Jar Binks?
Well, funny. It's funny.
He's funny?
Yeah, because like in episode 1, when they're at Tatooine and Anakin and the rest are having like, I think dinner or lunch or something, eating, there was a bowl of fruit.
Oh, the tiny.
And the Jar Jar's tongue was like, whoop, and he just got it, and he got it in his mouth like this, whoop, and he got it in his mouth, and then he did it again, and then Qui-Gon Jinn was like,
grabbed his tongue.
yeah. And like, yes.
Yeah, very funny, yes. Flynn's a bit too young for the whole Jar Jar Binks debacle when episode 1 came out. Yeah. Is there a machine order that includes... Is there a machete order? I'm not sure what that word is. Is there a machete order that includes all the recent ones?
I gotta say, I gotta roll with Jar Jar.
You gotta roll with Jar Jar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Well, I'm silly and he is, so... Well, he's just silly, but I'm not that silly. But I don't know if I'm that silly.
Julian, which order is that? Your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a very
yes, the order.
Sequenced order, that is.
Order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8,
okay,
and 9.
Okay. We got it.
Easy. Just count for the numbers.
I didn't even think about them not making it. I forgot then it happened, and I was shocked. What? What are we not making again now? Oh, right, about the droids. Yeah, they do that a lot, unfortunately.
And actually, no, I think episode 7 to episode 8, C-3PO has the left leg is red. One of the legs is red.
Is it his leg or his arm?
No, it's arm.
His arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually know that C-3PO dies in episode 9.
Thanks, buddy. Spoilers! Spoilers, everyone.
Hey!
You're thinking Star Trek. Did you dress up for Halloween?
Nope.
Didn't
go. But I wish I did because I want treats.
You want treats? What, you got enough treats in the cupboard, I think, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You don't need more treats, that's enough.
Definitely enough.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, look at that. You've ruined it. C-3PO dies and you just spoiled it for everyone. You can't do that, Flynn. You can't do spoilers.
Why can't...
Because not everyone wants to know. Some people want to experience it when they watch the film. So you got to be very careful what you talk about.
I know a little bit of it. It's really good. I watched the first 10 minutes and boy, how good is that? It's so good.
Okay. Does Flynn tinker with electronics? No. We occasionally do some learning stuff. Some maker learning, but...
Yeah, I wish I had my own so I could do...
Really?
Yeah.
You really want your own electronics now, do you?
Yeah, I really want to make some cool. I want to make some cool stuff, like science.
Okay, well that's a first. That's like something new that he wants to do because never wanted to before. Oh well.
Well, I know about C-3PO because, like, in the trailer, he says he says something, and it's a little bit sad. If he says something, I forgot what it is. It's like a last look at my friends in the trailer. So you're gonna see that in episode 9. So that's how I know.
But that could mean lots of things, Lynn. That could mean that he expects that his friends are going to die. Not just him or something, you know what I mean? We don't know what it means.
I know he's going to die.
Okay, let's not talk about it anymore. That's fine. Make a badge, Flynn. Flynn can make a new C-3PO. You're going to make a new one?
Well, maybe in episode 9 there's going to be a new C-3PO.
Okay.
Or a different name. Or
a different name. Or a different thing. Or a different robot. Okay. Robots never die. They just go to the robot scrap pile, right?
Yep, I remember. Oh, I think in episode 4 when they go to like that trash pit. Remember that?
Mm.
I think that's full of like junk and maybe some broken droids in there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's broken droids. There was definitely junk in there. The one was squishing them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they almost died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a badge kit from Tindy for Flynn to assemble. I do have here. I do have some badges here that I got for the kids to do, but neither wanted to.
What badges?
Electronics badges.
Oh yeah. Wait, what?
I'm not sure he's ready for a surface mount soldering, hand soldering. Not yet. I'll have to start with some through hole maybe.
And I have a encyclopedia of starfighters and other vehicles and all the people in Star Wars.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like every single person and every single starfighter, includes the Millennium Falcon.
Of course.
Of course.
Flynn does not have a BBC microbit, no. Flynn doesn't have any electronics. But
I wish.
Okay. This is new, folks, by the way. Just letting you all know that this whole I wish started just now.
No, it didn't actually.
Oh, when did it start?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Wow.
Okay.
Same.
Same.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Because if I get Flynn one of those old school electronic trainers things, I'll just end up playing with it myself.
Because you're just an electronic maker and you're like, okay, electronics is my thing. So I'm keeping it. You're like that.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it's too fun for me, I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pinch all your toys, don't I?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I think you guys know how to pick and place. Yeah, I'm not sure I want him pick and placing my stuff.
No.
No. Okay. Exactly. I want him to start playing with technical Lego because I want to play with technical Lego. Anyway,
I like Lego.
how was Shawn Mendes?
Oh, it was really good. We went to the Shawn Mendes concert, I think on Wednesday.
Okay.
Last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it was loud, but also awesome.
Okay, so now tell everyone what happened at the concert.
I fell asleep.
He fell asleep. He had his headphones on and he fell asleep, as in noise protection headphones.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't believe it, but how long did you fall asleep for? So Flynn fell asleep. He managed to get through the opening act. He fell asleep about halfway through the first song, I think, and stirred through the second last song and fell asleep again, and that was it. So Flynn basically, his first concert, he slept through. But he loved it. He thought it was great.
I heard Mercy, you know.
Yeah, you were half asleep. I kind of woke you up for Mercy. You went, ooh, and then you're back asleep again.
But I could still hear it.
I know you could hear it. Okay, there you go. It was super loud, but yeah, the kids both have sensory stuff, so they're both sitting in the concert with their headphones.
It was like, bah, bah, bah.
It was loud. It was really, really loud, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Lego Mindstorms. I have some Lego Mindstorms here. I do.
Yeah.
Never get to play with it because I never get to play with any of the rest of my stuff either. Wow, okay. Been going over 2 hours now. It's been a long stream.
Yeah.
We're going to wind it up, do you think?
Yep.
Yep. We're going to say goodbye to everyone.
Bye, everyone.
You say, have a nice day, have a nice sleep.
Have a nice day and have a nice sleep if you're watching and you're about to go to sleep.
Well, there's lots of people here that it's night time for yesterday still.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the future. They're in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
They would be asleep, yes, but they would be about to sleep.
Yes, they should be asleep, but they're watching and chatting instead. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to let them go to sleep now. We're going to see everyone saying bye. We're going to say bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining. For those of you that were disappointed with the whole start of the stream, sorry.
What?
It's okay. One of the benefits for me is I get to talk about whatever I want on my stream, whether people like it or not. And for those of you that left, hopefully you'll come back next week. I will keep everyone up to date with the software, whether I do it through videos or posts or whatever as it progresses. I will, but I won't take up so much time on stream again in the future about it. And yeah, I'll catch you all next week. Yeah, maybe catch you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Might go in. Might not.
I got a huge box. I see cool things on YouTube, and I have to build it. Things like spherical parallel link. What? What happened to OBS?
What's OBS?
Hey Zulu Bailey, you came at the end. OBS behaved itself today. Crazy. Oh well. Bye. Catch you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, for those of you going to sleep, have a good night's sleep. And we need to click this and we say, okay, wave, bye.